I also love Tofu House, which is Korean.
Okay.
That's also down that way. If you're in the neighborhood, but there's a lot of good Korean food down there. There's some pretty good Japanese food down there. But my favorite Japanese place is probably Sakana, which means fish. It's in Arvada. And they're closed on Monday and Tuesday, so don't try to go there then.
That's kind of been, I know y'all are on the same thing, and Softa is down there at the source as well, because, and I think even like Bourdain said it in his book, like because of the schedule, folks are trying to eat out Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
So Monday and Tuesday would be the day the chef is not usually in the house.
Yeah.
Is that the trend all around Denver? Like, is that days that we should be trying to avoid because we're going to get C Squad, like staff, maybe at a restaurant? Like, I need to avoid going out to restaurants on Mondays and Tuesdays? Is that what you're telling me today?
Because, wait, you mean because there's not, they're not going to be open?
They're just bringing leftover product from the weekend.
Or maybe I don't. Or maybe it's like the C Squad. Like, it's like, the strip club on a Wednesday. It's like the restaurant on a Monday or Tuesday. Like, you don't have your best A team in the back. So
I don't think that's the case at all. I think it's like, a lot of places close one day because you need it, and Monday seems to be a quiet enough day. We chose Tuesday because everybody else chose Monday, and we get some Monday crew now,
Somebody's got to serve breakfast on Monday.
Exactly. You need your coffee on Mondays, especially on Mondays. So
please change the name to Bean Water.
Oh my God.
I haven't heard that until today, and I actually kind of like it.
I know, it's catchy.
So when, let's say you and Hayden are going on a date, or the last date, where'd you last go on a date?
Oh my
or
God.
Something?
We actually just went to Boarchi last night, if you can count that.
Yeah, we'll count that for sure. I mean, you've name dropped it 3 times and I finally figured out how to spell it.
It's really freaking good. Yeah.
We're getting takeout one night from Boarchi.
Shout out to our buddy Fat Guy in Denver. He likes to eat hole-in-the-wall restaurants. So
there you go.
That's the one.
Try the guti vankaya, which is an eggplant dish. It's so
again?
good. The guti vankaya.
I'm taking notes.
All right.
Notes over here, but I'm just curious. Okay.
We were recommended that one.
Do they have good, like, Peshwari naan? Or?
Oh, yeah. And then they've got the, what are they called? Like the huge, they look like a giant periscope. It's, Hayden, what are those called at Boarchi that are like the big rolls of thin... Dosa, yeah.
Oh, kind of like it's almost like a crepe.
Yeah, but
dosa?
they're like this big.
Okay.
It's like a poster that's been rolled up, and then you get all of your dipping spices and everything.
So what's really in the middle of this rolled up poster?
Nothing. It's just like something that you break off of, and it's like your flatbread sort of. Yeah, but for Indian style. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'm a big fan of bread.
There you go.
Yeah. So anything I can dip in other sauces. I don't care if it's a tortilla chip, naan, fucking pita bread. You mentioned hummus earlier. That got me going.
Yeah.
I can eat them all.
So we'll get some vindaloo. We'll get that, and we'll get some other things.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things that I'd never seen before because I guess it's Southern Indian cuisine.
Okay.
Which I guess America is not as familiar with as Northern. But I could be totally telling you a lie. I'm not sure. Maybe I just didn't know.
Geography buffs out there, what is the difference in the food? Is it like the ingredients they use, or is it just like the regularity of which they like use something else? Like the difference between Cajun and Creole is the use of a tomato. Like, what is the difference in a North and a Southern Indian dish?
I can't tell you precisely. Okay, I'm not familiar enough with Indian food, but the food, like on the menu, the dishes, there were some things that I'd never heard of. You go to an Indian restaurant, you expect, you palak paneer, your tikka masala, all of those things. But
basics.
But then guti vankaya comes along. I'm like, what the hell is that? And it's amazing. It's like a tamarind peanut-based sauce, and there's flavors in there that I'd never experienced. And there's these tiny little like fairy tale eggplants in there that have been sliced up and then stuffed with some nut mixture. And those are cooked in there, nice and like super soft and delicious. So I'm supposed to be talking about my restaurant, but I want to talk about their restaurant.
We like to always, get to know the chef behind it and see what, kind of influence and inspires you. So we'll continue to pump Stowaway. Don't worry, this place.
Oh, no,
dank coffee, dynamite food. Obviously, the chef is a world-traveled experience. They have an exquisite menu that goes breakfast to lunch all the way till 3 p.m. daily, except for Tuesdays. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, they have the supper club that is Chef Johnny Nafa is
Yeah.
kind of help inspiring the dishes, and obviously you're probably still the queen bee in the kitchen. So see, we can do that really
During the
easily.
daytime, I'm not here at night.
Oh, is
so
he doing
yeah,
the nights?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
And also, not to just harp on bean water, they do have some booze here. So for all you guys,
full bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're trying to catch a buzz, or if you're trying to shake the old
Yeah.
lady, she's driving you crazy, you can come down here.
Yeah, like on the weekend after a hike, if you want something hearty, like the bacon of the sea dish or something like that, you can come down here, grab a drink, and a little bit of bacon of the sea.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like that. That's a great name.
I'm loving bacon of the sea.
We're gonna run it for smoked trout. So this is our last kind of Colorado question before we dive into the two segments all of our listeners know very well.
Okay.
So let's pretend like there's a water shortage, and for whatever reason you were given a gift from God and you get the weekend off. What would an ideal weekend in Colorado be for y'all?
Oh, just camp out in the middle of nowhere.
There you go.
Hell
Can't
yeah.
beat that with a stick.
Just take the Land Cruiser and go out to the hills.
And then, so we do have one question. I think we actually skipped over it with some sweet segues.
Yeah.
For our Stoned Appetit segment, I don't know if you do partake in the recreational use of God's flour here in the States, but we often like to ask folks, if you come in from a late night shift, maybe
Yeah.
roast a bowl, have a cocktail, what's the go-to snack in your fridge
Yeah.
or your go-to leftover meal? What are you making to kind of appease that appetite at 2 a.m. for our listeners?
Usually it's like a grilled cheese sandwich or something, you know?
Grilled cheese sandwiches,
Yeah.
love them.
She'll
Yeah.
go to Australia. She'll eat fucking Vegemite. She'll eat bacon of the sea. She'll dominate northern India, but comes old-fashioned, good, home-cooked grilled cheeses.
So
Hayden actually makes the best grilled cheese. So,
Really?
yeah, he's the one that does
Is
that
there a
one.
certain cheese that we should look for? Is it a New Zealand flair that he uses?
Nah, it's just whatever we have in the
Good
fridge.
old-fashioned bacon. I like it. I like it.
What's a guilty pleasure that's maybe in the pantry or sitting in that
Don't forget
freezer or
this is a
something?
kids podcast. So.
The pantry, though, right? Okay.
My bad. Missed that one.
Like, are we like Cheerios fans? Are we potato chips?
Oh, potato chips. I can easily down a bag myself, which is bad. So I try not to open it if
Favorite
I'm by
brand?
myself.
Style?
Crunchy is best.
Crunchy.
So I like the bolder ones. Those are pretty good.
I recommend Zaps.
Oh, I love Zaps. I like those. Yeah, those are
Look
good.
at that. I may not be world travel, but I spend a fair amount of time in Louisiana.
Yeah,
You're-
yeah,
Those things fuck.
They're
You're-
good.
Your friend Caroline over at Annette, she
Yeah.
can't get down with Zaps.
Oh,
She's-
really?
She's more of a Lay's potato chip, salty.
Oh, really?
Thin,
We're going to have
crispy.
to talk about this later.
Yeah. Call her out on it. That's awesome.
Maybe
We're
just,
starting
bond
feuds.
more over potato chips.
Maybe show her the ways of Zaps because they're delicious.
I don't know. She's pretty set in stone with her.
I don't know, spicy
with her opinions.
crawtators.
I know she.
Those things are so good. Well, Amy, we do appreciate you joining us. Before we leave, we have about 4 more minutes. This next segment,
Okay.
we think we call it rapid fire or this or that. We don't really know.
I like rapid fire.
Rapid fire. We're working on all of the names. If
Okay.
that's not apparent. Chris, I'll go ahead. This is you. I'll let you lead it off.
All right. Coffee or espresso?
Neither.
What what?
That's the second time somebody's done that to us. Neither. That's not an option.
All right, booze or weed,
Oh, booze.
Cake or ice cream?
Ice cream.
taco or burrito.
Taco.
Breakfast or dinner?
Breakfast.
I know your husband's from New Zealand, so rugby or soccer.
Soccer.
Ski or surf?
Surf.
Waffles or avocado toast for breakfast.
Shit. Avocado toast.
You millennial.
Man, I know. It sucks.
All right, so we do have a couple Halloween themed because listeners will be hearing this right before Halloween hits us next week.
Mm-hmm.
So the next one is Freddy or Jason.
Oh, Freddie.
All right.
Chocolate or fruity sour? Or whoa.
Yeah, chocolate or fruity / sour Halloween candy.
Chocolate.
Russell Crowe or Keith Urban.
Russell Crowe.
Christmas or Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving.
All
Nice.
Easy.
Nice.
So we try to bring a little flair because we figured, y'all did a little down under. I should have
Yeah.
been like Men at Work or Hall & Oates, but we already know that answer.
Okay, no coffee or espresso. Are you a tea drinker?
Yeah. I
But
used
you
to.
like never drank coffee. You worked in coffee.
No,
you were,
I used to drink coffee.
Oh, okay.
Is it like you've seen how the sausage is made and you know?
No, not at all. Like I appreciate every step of it. my body can't handle it anymore.
You get all jacked up and jittery
Yeah.
like I do?
Yeah.
I could run through the walls of my building.
Yeah, man.
I did a small trip, like a week abroad, and I noticed like everyone sits over there, they smoke cigarettes, they drink espresso, and they judge people.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite parts, was that 7 to 9 a.m. shift when all of those folks were going to work, and I was just sitting at these little cafes or I don't even know, bakeries.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there judging people while having espresso. So I used to be team coffee, and I've now since switched gears. So it's okay. You don't have to be either. I'm not
I know.
Really a
I
fan
miss
of either.
it. I do like it a lot. And if I were still to drink it, it would probably be espresso at this point.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Less is more, but more is less. Okay, so I think last question we always ask, or we have two more. Do you perhaps have an Uber rating you want to share with the crowd?
I don't have Uber. I'm sorry.
It's all right. You're not the first one to say that, but I mean, you did mention you weren't exactly you don't drink too terribly much, so you're usually driving down Aurora.
Or riding my bike, but
There you go.
So if you were an Uber driver, and it's on a scale of 1 to 5, if you're driving Hayden and he's had a couple drinks or something, what do you think Hayden's Uber rating would be?
You can partial star it too.
as a customer,
Yeah. I mean, like, have you just been like really
can't hear us.
annoyed
He's
with
all
him
the
in
way
the
over
car
there.
sometimes? Yeah, he's fine. He's smoking trout, smoking bacon of the sea.
I think I would give him a high rating because he's really entertaining when he's drunk.
Solid.
So-
Okay.
So that's a 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take it.
And then, so the last question, we'll wrap up and end on this. You were your friend who obviously hates you, Caroline, rejected you to sit down with us, and so you've obviously made a lot of poor decisions that's led you to sitting right here with us. Which of your friends do you hate that you want to see sit down with us next?
Well,
Like, who's pissed you off recently? Maybe someone drove through your yard. Like, this would really suck for so and so. Who would you?
well, she hasn't driven through our yard at all, but I'm gonna say JoJo and Rachel of JoJo's Sriracha, because they're two boss ladies who definitely do a good job of what they do. We use their sriracha in house, and I think
Two boss
they're
ladies,
awesome.
and they make sriracha here
Yeah,
in
they do.
Colorado.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah, we're big spice fans. Like, I'm a big
Oh, cool.
heat guy myself.
Perfect, yeah.
So they're probably going to hate us, but nonetheless, it's awesome.
Yeah, that's great. Do they just focus on making sriracha, or do they do other things?
Yeah, that's what their focus is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna have to taste this sriracha, and then we're gonna have to obviously get them
back.
on here. Yeah.
I do agree. Well, Amy, we want to thank you so much, not only for having us, for the cocktails, for showing us around y'all's lovely restaurant, but seriously, thank you for joining us this week on
Of course.
No Vacancy Stoned Appetit, Transplanting the Native.
My
Chris,
pleasure.
do we have anything else?
I mean, guys, come down here. Hayden and Amy are great, and Bacon of the Sea.
Yeah, so we've gone
mean,
through the. Yeah,
shit.
we'll do that real quick. We'll go through the menu. They have dank ass food. Not only us, obviously, I guess a wide variety. So
Yeah.
you don't have to necessarily be a breakfast fan, or you don't have to necessarily like Mediterranean food. They have a little bit for everybody.
Yeah.
As well as if you're not maybe busy during the breakfast or the lunch rush, and you're not able to make it down to Rhino, they're obviously right behind the Benjamin Moore building, but they're doing dinner clubs. It's kind of exclusive, but you are invited. It's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights down here at Stowaway Kitchen, literally right as Market turns to Walnut, right behind the Benjamin Moore building. It's right there on the right before you even get to the voice box. That's my karaoke. But if you haven't tried it out, you're missing it. But also, you're missing a real warm, inviting place. So again, we thank you.
Thank you.
And don't forget to go check out not only their menu, and you can find them on Instagram and the internet at Stowaway Denver without the E. Mm-hmm. And you can find this episode, all of our information at No Vacancy CO, and you'll also find links to Stowaway from there at the website also. So until next week, we say no vacancy and cheers. And what else do we say?
Eat good food.
Eat good food. Let us know. Tag us in all your pics, and we'll be sure to share them. So cheers. Peace. Bye.